You may be wondering what this crown is doing on my head, EJ.
I wasn't even thinking of that. I thought this is just nice.
The tower on my head.
I thought it was just like a Pokemon. Your hat just is evolving, you know?
Across the years. I mean, it's already the case that people watch old videos, I think, and they're like, ooh, no hat.
No hat.
But now, like, if there's like a crown on top of the hat. Well, so I'm wearing this in commemoration of, we went to medieval times for Gloria's birthday, and I guess kind of for Father's Day every year. Remember last year we went to New York City, and I went to the Nintendo store and all that. June is like our big month. It's Nina's birthday. It's Gloria's birthday. It's Father's Day. She was born on Father's Day. It's that time of year where on Facebook you start to see like all of her baby photos from 9 years ago. It's always quite cute. Every year, all the major milestones of like, oh, you screened this movie, you shot, like I was just seeing, we shot Sexually Frank 16 years ago.
Oh, this summer. Crazy. That's crazy.
A long time ago. Which I guess means I met you, right? I would have met you in 2010. So 16 years we've been going.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been married for 16 years, so.
Yeah, I remember like finding out you were a married guy, like in the program, and I was like, "Oh, another married guy, cool."
Yeah, I was married young guy. Yeah, because like I don't know, in Massachusetts, being a married young guy was like a aberration.
It still is. I was 23 when I got married. Is that what you were?
I was 24, so yeah, probably.
Well, yeah. So you were, you really delayed.
I know. I was an old maid.
We've had birthday parties for Gloria. They're fun. They're cool. But it's never really been something she's gone in for. She's always wanted to go out like on a big trip. And last year she was inspired to go to New York because of Big City Greens, that cartoon show. And this year she was watching kind of like a woke storytime animation YouTuber. It tends to be the case that most of these kind of like 25-year-old animators who target a very young audience, like they're, I mean, not like super woke, but like, therapy talk makes its way into all the conversation. And like suddenly, like she just mentions misogyny off topic. I'm like, this is strange. There's little seedlings.
You force them to be in the section that loses the hardest. It's really no fun being forced to cheer for the guy giving the giant misogynistic monologue in the middle of the show.
But it's all good. It's animation. Gloria loves animation. I'd really like to see if I can this summer, instead of like wasting the days away, get her working on like a cool animation project or something. What would be a good like iPad application for that?
Yeah, I know like you can do animation in Procreate. It's been a long time since I've actually used an iPad to do like productivity, but
well, Rebecca Parham, she mentioned there was a whole video dedicated to going to medieval times. There's another one that it's like a whole story about how she and a friend got stuck on a roof. And man, Gloria showed me that video about Rebecca Parham getting stuck on a roof like 25 times. She had it memorized backwards and forward. Remember when you'd have a VHS tape as a kid and it was only 22 minutes and you had the whole thing committed to memory?
It's just on YouTube.
They find new 15-minute things. But anyway, there was a whole thing about going to medieval times, and I didn't even really know what it was. I barely listened to the Storytime animation. So Nina was like, hey, she wants to go to medieval times, and it looks like there's one in New Jersey, in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. We'll do a weekend, right? We have kind of demanding jobs, and so it's kind of hard to take like any giant block of time off. Right. But we'd like to go, to Salem for a weekend or here we like to do like extended weekends. And she was like, oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to stop at the Pez factory on the way. Like Nina just liked to think of like cool stops along the way. And in Orange, Connecticut, there's the Pez factory.
Orange flavored Pez factory.
Yeah, and there's plenty of that and lemon and all the rest of it. But, it is there, EJ, that you learn that Santa Claus was the first Pez dispenser. And there's trivia on the walls, and you can like unveil the answers to the trivia by moving little, windows and stuff. Most awkward thing about it. It was 2 floors and it wasn't huge. Probably like, I don't know, half the size of those M&M stores that you see in the cities. But probably the most awkward part of it was there is, in fact, a Pez factory, like a real manufacturing little plant there on site behind glass, like zoo animals. And
you can watch.
And it's not pretty. They don't like decorate it to be super pezzy or anything.
it's like just dirty stark, sweatshop,
nasty. Yeah, unwilling participants.
That's awesome. Actually, that's way better.
It's like people in lab coats just kind of walking around unhappy and unhealthy. Meanwhile, you're doing like trivia and taking pictures with the world's giantest Pez.
Santa. Oh, okay.
We went upstairs and there was some show playing on a TV, and Nina was like, "Is this every time that Pez has ever been mentioned in commercial television?" I was like, "No, there's no way they went to that trouble." Totally, it's totally what it was.
Oh wow.
The Seinfeld one with Pez, and like Malcolm in the Middle with Pez. Anytime Pez. And can I just be real with you? Like, I don't get the fucking appeal of Pez.
Oh yeah, even like I think my mom got the kids like Pez dispensers for some holiday, and they're just like, oh okay, cool, and like it's like I tried some of them, like this is just like a sugar tablet. Well, there's way better candy. It's kind of, the fun is the characters, but.
Right.
Yeah,
but maybe put a better candy in them characters. Because, like, in a world of Snickers and Raisinets and, Reese's, like, Pez. I mean, I guess I'm kind of turned off by, like, fruity hard candy to begin with. I mean, what's a good... I'll fuck with a Starburst. It's a little on the fucking chewy side, but... I'm not really one to, like, suck on a Spree, as an example. Like, I'd rather just, abstain.
Yeah, this is more on the chalky, like hard candy sugar tablet side, which is weird.
Yeah, feels like like an early concept for what candy could be. It's just like sugar.
Yeah, it just never evolved.
But it was quirky and fun to stop in on. And so Medieval Times is a dinner show. I think all told, it ended up being something like $297 for the three of us. But we bought like VIP, so you get to be in like the first like 3 rows or something.
Nice.
And you're supposed to get your name called out for your birthday, but that did not happen. So I want my money back.
Rip off. Yeah, rip off.
Yeah, right. But we were supposed to be there by 7 p.m. and our big plan was like, we're going to hit the road at 10 o'clock. We're Lyndhurst, New Jersey is only about like a 3.5 hour drive from where I am in Massachusetts. But so our plan was to get on the road. Oh, and we stopped at a Denny's on the way, and we ate at Denny's, and it was the worst service. Like, I actually like Denny's quite a bit in terms of, but the service was so fucking, like, we couldn't get out of there. It was one of those situations. You ever you're like this, we at this point, like, I'll throw the food out. I just need to leave,
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever had a good experience at Denny's, like, in my entire life.
Well, Denny's is kind of like, it's in that group of restaurants of like Friendly's, Denny's, IHOP. I would put those 3 together, right?
Yeah, Denny's was like desperation. Like, it's open.
It's pretty good. The burgers are pretty good. Well, Red Robin's, I think, really good as compared to the 3 of those. They all serve shakes. Like, you can order a shake as a beverage. The cute little signs to say it's diner time. I got one of those burgers that has an egg in it, and I always regret it. I always like, that looks interesting. And I always get it, and I'm like, the fuck am I doing? With egg all over the burger.
Yeah, I got one at Red Robin, like the Robin Burr or whatever. And it's like, yeah, why are we doing this?
I think I did it because it was still kind of close to breakfast. It was like 10:30 or so, and I was like, get something with an egg in it.
It's almost like breakfast.
The burger is lunch, and the egg is breakfast.
It's like you have a scramble with a bunch of sandwiches.
So that kind of held us up. Then, of course, Pez. We luxuriated in the Pez factory. When we got back on the road, so it was supposed to only be an hour and a half left. That was the midpoint. We look at Apple Maps. Yes, we're an Apple Maps family. We're not sometimes we get judged around here for not being a Google Maps family. It happens to be the app that's like right there on the home screen, and whatever. It'll be another 3.5 hours to get there. And we're like, because the time was, 3 o'clock or something. And we're like, shit, we're going to get there at like 6:30. So our plan had also been like, go to the hotel, go to the pool. Gloria was like, really, it's funny. Like, you schedule something with your children and you have it all planned out. And then the kid just gets a totally different idea. And like, all she was talking about was the pool. She's like, I just want to get there and go in the pool. And I was like, oh, well, Medieval Times was kind of the whole idea here. And I think she kind of lost track of what we even were doing after a while,
Yeah.
Like, where are we going? I have a very happy memory. It's the kind of thing that my parents never would have done as a kid. Like, unlike us, my parents, like, if you were in an amusement park, you weren't getting one of those ice cream pops, or you never got any of that shit. You want one of those like light up swords at like a fireworks display, you're not getting one of those swords. But the one thing they did do that was really cool was they loaded us up in the car. I must have been 7 or 8 years old. and they were like, we're going to go run some errands. And we just sat in the back, stared out the window. There's no iPad to stare at and lose track of what's happening. And then we turned into water country.
Oh,
They were like, they're like, we got all your bathing suits packed up. Where today is, I couldn't believe, because we go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time now. Like my dad was like, you're not going there. That's a germ factory. He had a big thing about like there's germs there, and
Germs.
like water country. That's like a piss factory. Like there's no way my dad wants.
You'll
to
get the plague from the rat at Chuck E. Cheese.
Fat people in refiltered water. Like there's no way my dad is gonna want to be there, but he did. He was cool enough to bring us to water country. It was one of my happiest memories. But we like to try to be spontaneous and do fun stuff on the weekend. So anyway, we're kind of like increasingly stressed. And Gloria has some requests to go to the bathroom on the way. We got phones that are running out of battery. We only have one charger. We're switching who has the charger. The iPhone it's a 38 volt, so the iPhones keep like overheating and having to stop charging.
This is a nightmare. This makes me so stressed because I'm like one of those people who loves to be like early to things. Whenever I'm running late, even like a little bit, it's just like it gives me.
It's not good.
It gives me a tight chest.
She said something that is not very Nina-ish. She was like, "If we get there and we're late, I'm going to break down in tears." Like that's never something. It's our daughter's birthday that we spent $300 on it. Like she wants to fucking get there. And then we start reading the materials that we got, and they were like, you need to get there an hour early so that you can get started. I was like, oh fuck. Well, we're gonna be like 5 minutes early is what's at the rate we're currently going. We pull, we're trying to keep a lid on the stress because the kids will pick up on it. You know what I mean? Like they figure it out.
Absolutely.
And they start just being stressed about nothing. They don't even know what they're doing.
It's in the air. They
just smell the stress. Yeah.
There's like, woof, 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 woof.
They're like, hey, Gloria, want to get on your medieval dress? Because she wanted to like cosplay. She's like, no, that's okay. Just as long as we get there. I'm like, no, you're cosplaying. Like we came all the way out here. So we get her cloak on. So we got there we pulled into the parking lot at 6:45. The show starts at 7. And I'm looking at the signs. They're like, oh, there's another one tomorrow at 2 in case things go belly up here. But that would be like a loss of $300. I still don't even really know what the show is by this point. But I see a giant castle, medieval times. It's on, the side of like some urban sprawl in the middle of Lyndhurst shit, New Jersey.
I've definitely I think there was one in Texas that I would drive by because my wife went to school in Texas, so I'd visit her. And yeah, you drive by this fucking castle, be like, what is this?
We go in and there's a huge line. And we're like, okay, well, this is good at least because it means that like the show probably isn't going to start until the line has been cleared. You do your tickets, everything's going. And now Nina's like elated to be there. And you sit down and yeah, it's kind of what it's basically, it's a medieval tournament. And you're in like the stands of the medieval tournament. So there's a big like, I don't know, like sand pit, like gladiator style. Like you're going to watch, Dunk be in the tourney.
Yeah. That was a cool show.
That was a cool show. They assign your area a night. And you get this hat, of course, on the way in. And we got the red and yellow night, hence my crown. And then there's a green night and there's a red night and a blue night.
Stand up and cheer for your section's night. Let the games begin. The blue night rules. The red night sucks the big one.
So you're supposed to cheer for your guy, and it's basically pro wrestling. It's a scripted combat sort of situation. There's a narrative that's running through it. You can't hear a fucking word though, because it's on one of those like booming speakers. It's like, everybody's doing like, the community theater English accents. Although they were pretty good. And so there's a king and queen that sits atop the whole thing to watch, and they kind of carry a lot of the narrative. Not that I heard any of it. Dinner so they don't give you utensils, so they give you like soup, and you're supposed to like drink the soup out of a bowl. They give you some garlic bread. Gloria had never had tomato soup and garlic bread before. She loved it, and I was like, sweet. Like every time, you have kids. I mean, every time like they level up something.
Yeah, if there's anything. The problem I have is the kids will be like, oh, I love that. I'm never having it again. And they'll even say that. And I'm like, what? But you loved it. Why?
Gloria does a little bit of that too. I'll be like, so how is it? And she'll be like, pretty good. And, she'll be like really encouraged by it. And then she'll eat like a few bites of it. And she'll be like, do you want it? I'm like, are you lying to me, kid? So then like horses come out. There's guys on horseback. So there's a few like little horse tricks without it ever becoming too exploitative of the animals, a la Ringling Brothers.
Right.
But there was a part where a guy came out with a falcon on his arm, and they were going to do like a falcon show, and we've been quoting it all week in our house, which is it was like maybe the one thing we heard on the speaker system, which was the Queen was like, do not seek the falcon's attention. Do not draw him from his purpose. I whispered to Gloria, I was like, don't freak out the falcon.
Don't draw.
We've been saying, don't draw, if Gloria is distracted, I'm like, do not seek Gloria's attention. Do not draw her from her purpose. But yes, the falcon like flies all around the place, and it's ooh and ah. And they have jousting. So they get on horseback, and they have these kind of breakaway shields. So like, they joust the shield, and the shield bursts into a million pieces.
Oh, cool.
And it's loud, and it's like a big crowd pleaser. And they're playing like orchestral medieval music the whole time, violins and Celtic. And I was like, it was actually pretty badass. I was like, this is sweet. I leaned over to Gloria. I was like, I hope they kill a guy in this. I hope somebody dies.
I hope somebody dies in this Coliseum.
Hey, I hope they kill a guy. I mean, you're allowed to scream as loud, so we're going like, yes. And at one point they were like, we'd like to announce birthdays. And they start just rattling off or special occasions. He's celebrating graduating elementary school. But they never called Gloria, even though she was on the list. But she got cake. Yeah, we got chicken. So you're eating chicken with your hands.
Yeah.
Like some kind of medieval guy.
Isn't there like a medieval times segment of the cable guy? Isn't that a thing? Isn't that in a movie?
That's exactly right. Yeah, in fact, we watched it to pregame. We were like, what happens in that?
Can I get a knife and fork?
There were no utensils in medieval times, hence there are no utensils at medieval times. Would you like a refill on that Pepsi?
There were no utensils, but there was Pepsi?
Dude, I got a lot of tables.
But they like Matthew Broderick and Jim Carrey are like the actors in it for some reason.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
But so even though there's a lot of families, there's also a lot of drunk frat guys.
Yeah.
So like, especially for some reason, the Green Knight section was all drunken frat dudes, and they all were like, green. And there was like screaming. It was actually awesome to have like one area of the arena going nuts for their night. It revs you up, and you start to realize you're like, man, we really are a tribal species. Like, if all you had to do was like assign me a color, and I'm screaming that color.
yeah. Give you a yellow and red Burger King crown there.
And I'm like,
this is who I am.
Yeah, this is who we've always been. It's who my child is. It's what my lineage will be. Breaking the chicken's bones. Red and yellow. Kill a guy in the parking lot at medieval times.
Take that green.
Well, also I discovered that it's very hard to chant red and yellow. I was like, how would we do this? I tried to get the chant going. So I was like, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red. Yellow, red, yellow, red. But green, blue, blue, blue.
Oh yeah, those are easy.
Yeah, right. Or even
red, just
yellow, yellow. It was great. She had a great time. I've got amazing footage of it that we'll be doing a Gloria Goes To video. She got great photos with the community theater actors, and as did all the drunk, frat people. They were, Well, they serve alcohol at this thing, so people are falling over themselves and shit. And we went home, and she was like, "Oh, I'm so excited that we did that." I really don't think she had a sense for what it was going to be. Next morning, we spent a lot of time in the pool, and then it was time to go home. We were actually going to hit Mystic Villages. Just, a little area I've actually always wanted to do a Junt's Cart out there. It's over by the Mystic Aquarium in in Connecticut, but they have like a cool, like little kind of like shops and villages and stuff. And so we were going to head there, but then I was like, hey, and Nina was like, we are passing through Bridgeport, Connecticut. which is not the most scenic thing in the world, but there is somebody who's there, and his name is Gymmy. And I said, you know, I've been wanting ever since I did the cannibal video to go to, Liam told us on this podcast that Vinegar Syndrome had brick and mortar stores, the Blu-ray, the boutique Blu-ray label.
Right.
You know, I'm working outside of a spare bedroom in bumfuck Yorkshire, UK. No one knows where it is. And, you know, you guys have got brick and mortar stores, and
Do they really? Vinegar Syndrome has brick and mortar stores?
they have 3.
And I found out the one near us is in Bridgeport, Connecticut, which is like an hour and a half away from here, 2 hours away from here. So I was like, can we stop off? And the store is called The Archive. And it's not humongous, although it has a couple floors to it. It's in what our friend Vince and Gymmy have told me is the hood. It's in a bad spot of Bridgeport, Connecticut.
This can't be it. This can't be Santa's workshop. This looks like Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And so I wandered around the store for a good long while. It was like, you know, they had like a few too many horror emblems and icons where it was a little hard to like walk around with a child. Because there'd be like a Chucky doll or a Jason mask or something. She does get a little bit spooked by that stuff. They did have VHS, plenty of it, and good VHS. And they had a little bit of Laserdisc. Not a million Laserdiscs, though. Like our flea market does better with Laserdisc than this place did. But what they have, their bread and butter, and vinyl. They have a shitload of vinyl. But their bread and butter is their own label. So Vinegar Syndrome puts out these, you know, $45, $50 Blu-rays of your favorite movies. So, you know, if you think of like Arrow or Criterion, this is what boutique, for those who are unfamiliar, that's what boutique Blu-ray is. It's for, there's two people who buy optical media now, right? Old people who don't know how to log into a streaming service, and collectors. And I think like ever since optical media has kind of gone away, they've gone all in on collectors because they're actually willing to spend, I don't know, you know, a few $100s a year probably on Blu-rays on average, if you're a big movie lover. 4K releases, and you know, and I've been a critic of 4K releases because they tend to be recolor corrected or fucked with or whatever. But these guys, in general, that's not what you're seeing. So it's a lot of B movies and underground films and movies that don't deserve the kind of Criterion treatment, but they get it anyway. You know, like Abo the Hue Monkey. Almost all of them come with, you know, like a paper book. And I'm always like, oh, is this going to have been written by the director or something? No, it's like always written by like a staffer from Vinegar Syndrome. And I'm like, what's so fucking special about this book anyway? But it makes it feel cool and look cool. They're all thick. They all look like little tomes, these Blu-rays. It's just awesome to be in a store full of these like $50 amazing Blu-rays. You can't help but like buy $200 worth of stuff.
Absolutely. It just reminds me of, we have some old Wii U games and Wii games around, and the boys were like, "Oh, can I see new Super Mario Brothers Wii? Like, can you show me that game?" So I was like, "Oh, here it is." And they open it up, and there's the little instruction manual inside. I was like, "Oh, I forgot they used to have instruction manuals in these things." Because I forgot when they got rid of them, but this one had a pretty thick one. And they just are like, they're like so amazed. They're like, oh, they've been flipping through that thing like for the past week. And I was like, oh, it's just like, it is fun to have like little things to make it premium. And I feel like we've lost a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's the whole idea here is make it premium, so I was like, there's no way I'm leaving here without having bought a few things. So I'd like to show you what I bought. You know, we talk a lot about Tromeo, Cannibal, Toxic Avenger. Not a tremendous amount of conversation about Terror Firmer, trauma movie. And, it was made, I think, in like 97. I haven't really popped this in yet. I don't know if this is like a complaint I have or what, but a lot of they have fucking art like this. This artwork in no way matches the movie. This has nothing to do with the movie. This is like on a different planet from the movie.
Yeah, it looks like the front looks like a mega warhead or something, those candies or whatever.
Yeah, and where like this is the movie for sure. That's what the movie looks like. And then I'm like, well, I'm looking around for like this is technically a depiction of a scene from the movie, but that's not. There's no artwork in the film that looks like that. So it's very strange. Like they take a lot of artistic license with some of this stuff, but indeed there's a kind of a worthless book. Like who wrote? Like, yeah, let's see like who the writer of this was. Matthew Klickstein. I don't know who that is. I think it's a staffer. Heather Drain. Maybe they're like editorials. I just don't know.
Good.
Anyway, it's does Terror Firmer deserve to be in 4K? No, there's no way. And I think that's the fun of it. This is a movie about making movies. It was Lloyd Kaufman plays a director in it. It's also directed by Lloyd Kaufman. It's got three Blu-rays here. So you got the theatrical, you got a Blu-ray special features, it looks like, and then you got the 4K, the Ultra HD. Now, here's a nasty little secret. I don't have 4K in my house. I don't have a 4K television. I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player. I don't have 4K. So I'm over here. I generally haven't been buying 4K for that reason. I'm not really a fan. But I couldn't resist these Blu-rays. So I don't know.
What plays those? Can you play those in like a PlayStation 5 or something?
Yeah, I think so.
As the prices keep rising on all these things, you could get one.
I know. $500 for the fucking Switch doesn't seem so bad. One of my favorites, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh yeah, there you go.
In glorious 4K, which I don't have capacity for. Oh, this is Arrow Video though, so it's not all Vinegar Syndrome releases in there. Okay. You get some Criterion, you get some Arrow. This is real premium. I mean, this feels good. I believe one of our guys on Discord says that this is 4K only, and he appears to be right. I just think it's neat. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll upgrade. Yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe this TV down here at least got a player.
Yeah, at least I mean, I'm sure you could just play it. I can't really tell the difference between 4K and 1080 when I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting on the couch. I think the studios, obviously James Cameron, they tend to fuck with these releases, but these boutique Blu-ray people, they tend to be more like archivists, more like they're trying to prepare the movie for the Library of Congress or something. So they're not nearly as keen to mess with the movie. They want to preserve the movie. So these guys, Vinegar Syndrome, famously, of course, Criterion, right? They license the movie for a release, and then they have like film scanners, and that's what's so fun is they'll be like, oh, here's like 5 different TV TV versions of the movie, and here's the 35 millimeter, and here's the one that came out on DVD, and here's like every release of it ever.
Oh, you know what? I saw something recently on like Twitter. People were talking about the original Toy Story, because they were doing like a scan of a 35 millimeter print or something. And I guess like the lighting and the like texture of some of the stuff is way different than I guess they rendered it for 4K like digitally. But this like print from, back in the 90s just like has a way different feel to it. Because they it's like opening up the project a couple decades later and re-rendering in 4K is just going to be different than that original scan from the 90s.
Now, Liam had been talking a little bit about doing Romeo and Juliet. It's his favorite movie of all time. And he was like, yeah, but Vinegar Syndrome did it already, so I gotta, I don't want to have another Cannibal where we're both releasing it at the same time. So I just asked for kicks. I was like, do you guys have Tromeo? They're like, oh, do we have Tromeo? Yeah, and they have a really, really cool copy of Tromeo.
Oh, there it is.
Do I need more copies of Tromeo? Last year I spent $150 on a Laserdisc of it, which is way cooler than this. What the fuck is this? what is this? And what is this?
Yeah, it's like that weird Bazooka Joe.
Looks like a Tootsie Roll commercial. Do you remember? That's one of the funniest things ever to me. Doug Walker pointed it out. You remember the classic Tootsie Roll commercial? Everywhere I think I see reminds me a Tootsie Roll to me. And it goes through like the land of chocolate and stuff. Absolutely. At the very end, there's a slate that's just advertising Tootsie Roll, and it says it's from Tootsie Roll. It was supposed to say, it's from Tootsie Roll. For some reason I said, so
It's like a little sassy.
What? It's from Tootsie Roll. Is that for real? Somebody actually got paid to come up with that motto? Maybe there was meant to be a question mark at the end, like, it's from Tootsie Roll?
When it comes to the TMNT trilogy, I actually own a cool Blu-ray pizza box. It's like a cardboard pizza box of the original 3 films and the 2007 TMNT animated movie, which is technically canon. It's technically the 4th movie in that series, so they make reference to those. I mean, I don't buy it, but kind of. But anyway, but then I saw this amazing release of the trilogy.
I love that
just looks
poster.
badass. And this is Arrow Video as well, loaded with special features. I mean, you couldn't possibly watch it all. 4K restoration of the film from the 35mm interpositive by Arrow Film. So you're going to get a really special copy of these movies from here. So I had to do it. And then I said, you got any laser discs? And they did. And it wasn't a great selection, but there's almost always a laser disc that's worth your time. And I picked up The Player with Tim Robbins. You ever see The Player? So it's directed by Robert Altman. He did MASH and Brewster McCloud and The Long Goodbye and, a bunch of 70s movies, very famous 70s movies. But anyway, this is a movie about the film industry. I saw it in college. It was a big college movie for film students. But it's like a satire of Hollywood. I remember there's a murder or something.
There's like a noose with film on the cover.
Yeah, exactly. But it's supposed to be like a send up of the industry. And to finish my story, I guess I'll take off the crown now. So I'm outside the archive. I call Kevin. I said, we're here. You want to come swing by? And he was like, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. He's like, I'm kind of working right now, but 10 minutes. Bridgeport is home of Gymmy.
Where are you at?
I did call him, but he said he was working in the ghetto all day today. So, and he swings by and he gets out of his car, big old Kev. And I shout out to him. I go, didn't you fuck up Sly Cooper? Aren't you the guy that ruined Sly Cooper?
It's so weird to see the family right here. The last time I was down here, this is exactly what we were shooting.
And we're the only two people on this block. And he had shown me his movie, The Headliner. And there's a shot right there at that same location. He was bitching. He was like, this place, the archive, they kicked us out. We were shooting. We were hardly making any noise. There's nobody here. But they didn't want us to shoot, and they claimed to be into independent film, whatever. But you got to meet Gloria. You got to meet Nina. We took some photos together. We got a little bit of video of him. We chatted for probably 30 to 40 minutes about everything and all things.
Sorry about all the trouble I've caused.
You've done nothing but bring joy to it.
Nothing but joy in our house.
Very sweet guy. It was great. And we put it up on the YouTube community post, and people seem to like the redemption arc, At this point, I mean, the idea that we were ever opponents is almost, it's so distant, just this one kind of back and forth. But I stand behind our roast of him because it was just so funny. It was a really funny video.
It was funny. It was.
But he really wants to, I'll say one thing that's great about Kevin is he really loves making movies. Loves making movies. This is a guy who, there's nothing that will stop him from making movies.
That's awesome.
And so he's very excited about whatever the next one is, and he very much wants Red Cow Entertainment involved in whatever it is. And, I'll check it out. Why not, right? I was just telling her Miss Cow got a body on her, and she was like, shut up, shut up.
Leave the wives out of it, please.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.